Hello, hello. So, how do we begin our journey of healing and transformation? How do we start to begin to be able to put ourselves first to even get on that journey when we've got guilt running, when we've got a voice telling us, who the hell do you think you are to put yourself first? Who the hell do you think you are to change? We have this idea that putting ourselves first, loving ourselves enough to begin our own process of healing and transformation is selfish, that it's somehow egocentric in some way. And I want to address that today on today's Cuppa with Katie. I want to address it because it was a question asked of me. I was running a masterclass last night on somebody else's platform. And at the end, I was asked this exact question. Hold on, let me just look up the exact question I was asked. It said, how do I start putting myself first without hurting or sacrificing the needs of others? Powerful question, right? Hello, Ruth. Hi, darling. Good to have you. As you're joining, please say hello. I love to know who I'm talking to. If you're on the replay, type hashtag replay and let me know. But this is a really important question. It's a really powerful question, and it's the guilt associated, the guilt that comes up with this question that has so many, it stops so many people in their tracks, right? Men and women. In fact, this question was asked of me from a man last night, which was really fun. I don't often get to run trainings or masterclasses for men, so that was fun. So let's just take a little look at this today. It'll be a quick one. These are some nuggets of information that I just would really invite you to consider if you're considering starting a journey of transformation and change. And if you are, right? If there's like something on your heart, something going on for you that is sort of niggling you, it needs to be paid attention, but kind of you probably got those thoughts running that go something like, if I pay that attention, things are probably going to have to change in my life. And I don't know the how around that. I don't know how to begin that change. I don't know where to begin. I don't know. It's scary. Change is scary, right? So if we start to pay attention to those niggly things that we know need our attention, we get stopped in our tracks, don't we? We don't want to change. But also, we've associated change with it being a bad thing for other people. Like somehow, if I change, how is that going to affect the people that I love and care about, those people nearest and dearest to me? And it's true, right? Because the people around you are used to you being the way that you are. Perhaps the way that you are really serves them. I mean, I see this a lot with the women I'm working with who have codependency going on, people pleasing. The people around them are very much used to her being of service, always being available, putting herself last so that their needs are met. And it's not like those people are being selfish. It's not even like it's consciously happening. It's just a habit of behavior that this person, this woman, has always been there for them in that way. If she stops being there for them in that way and is there for herself first, what does that mean for them? Right? But this is a big piece that can stop us from embarking on a process of change, because if I change, how will that affect those around me? And the guilty thoughts and feelings, like, who the hell do I think I am to do that work? Like, one of the things that came up, and it was a couple of guys that actually brought it up on the class last night, which was really interesting. It was like, somehow, if you put yourself first and start on this journey, somehow that says to the world, I'm better than you, or like I have a big ego, or like I'm showing off in some way. That, because I remember even for myself growing up in the schoolyard in Australia, the term "you love yourself" was used, in a accusatory tone, and it was a criticism. It was what's the word? It's how the kids were mean to each other. It was like, you so love yourself. And that's what these guys were saying on the call. It's like, well, if we go down this path, does that not mean I'm telling the world that I love myself? I mean, I didn't say those exact words, but this was the sort of energy, the style of the conversation we were having. Is it not saying to the world that I think I'm better than you, that I would dare to go on this journey? This is real stuff, right? This is real. And it stops us. But what we're forgetting is the flip side. Because as you change, yes, things are going to change. Yes, it probably will impact the people nearest and dearest to you. But we're so used to presuming that that impact will be negative, and we don't kind of stop and consider, well, maybe it could be positive. Maybe it could be a good thing. Maybe me doing my healing work could actually have a really positive impact on my nearest and dearest. And this is the thing that I really wanted to share today. This is what I really want to get across today, because what I know for sure, like I know this from my own journey of healing, I've seen it in my clients. There's probably a few of you on the call right now. I can see people have joined. Please say hello. When you change, you start to feel better. When I say change, okay, like we love the way you are. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need fixing. But you know that there's elements of you that don't feel great for you. There's behavioral habits that you have. There's patterns of behavior that you have that you know just it's edgy. It rubs a bit. You just know it's not really authentically who you are. It's not really aligned with the truth of you. And so those are the pieces that you are being invited to pay some attention to love yourself enough to put yourself first to the degree that you will begin to heal those aspects of you that are looking to be healed. So we're not making you wrong. It's just there's aspects of you that are looking to be healed. I've been in healing, personal healing on myself for the last 12 years, like full time. And I've done all sorts of therapy and whatnot before that. Like it's part and parcel of my life. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean I'm wrong or that I need fixing. But I desire to be the best possible version of myself. And I know that as I'm doing that healing work, being on that journey, I'm starting to feel better. And as I start to feel better in certain areas of my life, the people around me feel that. They get to be around a woman who feels good. You know, me 15 years ago, like I had friends and, don't get me wrong, I wasn't awful to be around, but I was a victim. Maybe that worked then because I was surrounded by victims, maybe like attracts like, right? But I didn't have a lot of emotional capacity. I was quite defensive. I was a bit like edgy, a bit like prickly, a bit reactive, and as I've done my healing work, I am less reactive, less prickly, less defensive, easier to be around. Like I do my emotional housekeeping. So I'm emotionally pretty masterful now. I'm emotionally like, I got this. I'm emotionally empowered. That's nicer to be around. So that's another positive impact on the people I love and care about. I'm easier to be around because of my own healing journey, the work I've done on myself, which has created a depth of intimacy with myself. Like my relationship with myself is best friend material. I have my back. I'm there for me. As I'm able to do that for myself, I have a vulnerability with myself, and that vulnerability gets to be shared with other people. So while I'm learning to connect more deeply with myself, I'm able to connect more deeply with other people. I'm able to be vulnerable from a place of empowerment with other people. So again, they get to benefit from that. By doing my own work, by being on my own journey and developing real empathy and compassion for myself, like developing that kind of relationship with myself, I have way more empathy and compassion for other people. I'm much less likely to judge. I don't not judge, right? I'm human and it's a part of my life, but I'm super bloody conscious to it when I do. I know that when I judge, I'm always judging myself more. So if I'm in judgment of someone else, I know that I'm judging myself first. And I'm probably judging myself more than I would judge anybody else. This is something I've come to know. When I'm around people, I can let them be human way more because I have that relationship with myself. I allow myself to be human. I have empathy and compassion for myself. So when I'm with other people, I have this like resource available to me of empathy and compassion for them, which allows me to hold space for them. It allows me to not jump into judgment. It allows me just to listen, to be. That's lovely to be around. I have way more patience and capacity for others because as I am putting myself first, being on my own healing journey, I'm creating patience and capacity for me. And as I develop that for me, I have it for others. Also, because I'm choosing to put myself first and giving myself what I need moment to moment, I'm filled up. And when I'm filled up, I can share the overflow with other people. So I'm not serving other people from this kind of shriveled up scarcity energy. I'm filled up. And so I can spend time with you. I can have patience for you. My son's almost 14 now, so the patience for my child isn't needed as much as it was when he was 3, 4, 5. When he wasn't a particularly tantrumy child actually, but he had his moments. Being a single parent with one child, that stretched me at times. The amount of attention and energy needed for that relationship when it was just him and I. If I wasn't able to give to myself first and be there for me and heal my own childhood wounds so that my little boy wasn't triggering me, if I wasn't doing that work and able to be there for myself, I would not have had the capacity and the patience that he needed and bloody well deserved because he's a child. Right? So these are all the positives that come out of choosing to put ourselves first and begin our healing and transformational journey. Just to reiterate, we've got into a habit of thinking that if I put myself first, the people I love will suffer. If I put myself first, the people I love will be sacrificed in some way. If I put myself first, if I change, that change will impact them negatively. They don't want a changed version of me. They want me the way I am. Who do I think I am to change what they need? But we need to start to get into the habit and trust. Like, there's a real trust piece. It's very experiential. It's not until we actually put this into practice that we really can start to see the results, the positive results, that positive change can come. That when I'm there for me, I can be there for you even more. When I love me, I can love you even more. When I have vulnerability and connection with me, I can have vulnerability and connection with you even more. Yeah, like speaking for myself, I want to be nice to be around. And now I know those times when I'm triggered by something, when I'm not on my game and people feel that, so I'm not that nice to be around. I also have I've developed and I'm practicing the ability to apologize, to own it, to say, I didn't show up in a way that felt like good for me. I didn't show up empowered then. This is why. This is what was triggering me. This is what was going on for me. This is what I'm scared about and why I reacted in that way. And I can open my heart, be vulnerable, and just be real and human with them. It's like, what's not to love about this, right? And then the other thing I want to say is, in addition to all that I've just said, what I also know to be true, because I'm experiencing it time and time and time again, and I'm seeing it time and time again in the women I'm working with, and the guys, by the way, that I'm working with. As we heal, the people around us start healing too. Now, it is true some will move away. It is true some will react and not like it. We have to trust their journey. We have to trust their own process. We have to mind our own business and allow them to go on the journey that they're going to go on. If they're going to react negatively to me and I can only speak to me right now. So if they're going to react negatively to me desiring to be the most healed, best version of myself, if they're going to react negatively to my desire to be in full alignment with my spiritual truth and to show up empowered, that's their journey. I'm not going to dumb down and play small and hide out in the shadows and feel shitty and out of alignment to make sure that those people feel better about themselves. Like, I'm not available for that. If they fall away, they fall away. And my job is to allow that to happen with grace. It's not easy. It's painful. I've lost friends over the years. It hurts. No denying. But in that pain, for me, is my own opportunity for growth. There's something there for me to understand and learn about myself, and to learn and understand about human relationships, to allow others their journey. But while some people will move away, and some people have to be let go, and some people might react, what I see is more people will begin to heal. They won't necessarily even know that you were the instigator of their healing, that you were the light that like got into their cracks and, you know, cracked them open. You don't even necessarily know it. Who do we think we are to know it anyway, right? But what I see, and I've seen it on my own journey, is the more I heal, people around me are healing. They're shifting. They're beginning their own transformational journeys. They're having sudden ahas and awarenesses. They're having miraculous transformations. As we heal, others heal. As we heal, the ripple effect is massive. The world heals. Like, who actually do we think we are not to go on our healing journey? Like, that flips it, right? We're here, we are feeling guilty for putting ourselves first. Actually, shouldn't we be feeling guilty for not? Like, who do we think we are not to do the work? To use the phrase, not to be the change that we want to see in the world. Who do we think we are not to do that? We've got to overcome our fears, overcome our doubts, overcome our habits of thinking that others are going to suffer, and get on with the job. Get on with the healing and transformation. I can see there's a couple comments, and I will come to those in just a minute, darlings. Hey, Kellyanne. And the other thing I know for sure is when we do our healing work, like I said, we're not just doing the healing for ourselves. We're doing it for our lineage, for our family lineage that goes back like 6, 7 generations and goes forward 6 or 7 generations. Like, I know the healing I'm doing. My mum passed away 24 years ago. I know that in the last 10 years, the healing I've done has helped her heal on a soul level. Because while your healing journey might feel a lot of the time like it's emotional healing, it's mental healing, it's physical healing, that's all true. We're doing soul work. So as I'm healing on a soul level, my soul family, generations previous, generations to come, are healing. I'm shifting things for them. As I'm learning to empower my feminine and heal my toxic masculine, I'm doing that for all women. Like, who do I think I am to believe I'm just doing that for me? I am not doing it just for me. Ego says you should feel guilty and should be there for other people. But our spiritual truth is saying, our spirit is saying, I'm sorry, who do you think you are to not do the soul healing? Like, who do you think you are to think that you're so important that you get to like not do it or make decisions that, like, do you know where I'm going? It's like our soul is calling us to do this work because it's soul work. food for thought, I thought, on this fine Wednesday, right? I'm going to have a little look at these comments. Ruth saying, people around me are now aware that I need my own space at times. But in the beginning, I struggled with feeling guilty and thinking my friends and family would feel rejected in some way. Yes, and absolutely. And you're so not alone. This is the human experience. I'm learning more not to be involved with how they may feel, and that it's important I meet these needs for myself. Right. Yeah, it's important that you meet these needs for yourself for all these reasons. And I could go on, right? I could go on. I won't, I could. So I guess my invitation for you, I mean, I know most of you watching this, because you're in my community, probably you're already on a healing journey. You have already overcome the ego mind that says, who do you think you are? And you've aligned with your spirit, that beautiful, wise little whisper inside that says, come on, darling, that behavior is not the truth of you. That's not loving to yourself or others. Let's pay that some attention. Let's get some support to heal that. Let's move you forward. You know, you women are already on the journey. You're already dialing into the voice of your spirit, and you're bravely doing the work. And like Ruth has just said, the people around her are now aware that she has her wants and needs, and she needs her space at times, and they're giving it to her. I mean, this is the other thing, right? Let's not underestimate the love and compassion and empathy that the people that we love have for us. Maybe they desire for us to take the time out for ourselves. Maybe they really want for us to feel better, to go on a journey. Maybe they would love nothing more than to create the space for us to go do what we need to do, because maybe they know they're going to get a better version of you if they allow that for you, right? So can you see, like, what I'm trying to do in this conversation is plant lots of different seeds of new beliefs that I invite you to like plant and allow to germinate and, you know, and grow, so that you can be the woman that you came here to be. Kellyanne saying, makes so much sense. I've adopted that phrase in my daily life before reacting. Who do I think I am? What is that triggering in me, not them? What is that triggering in me, not them? Yeah. But, you know, Kellyanne, you're amazing, because you know, you've been on this journey. You're doing incredible healing, transformational work. And, you know, part of that is owning your own shit, right? You're owning your stuff. Me too. We have to learn to own our own stuff. We don't get to play victim anymore. Yeah, we own our responsibility. We own our choices. We own our feelings. No one can make you feel what you feel. We get to own that. But this is like, I'm beginning to speak to more benefits, like the depth of relationship and self-knowingness that comes from first putting yourself first and beginning the healing journey. Yeah. Anywho, I'm going to leave you all to your Wednesday afternoon. Have a beautiful rest of your hump day. It's Easter in a minute, so a couple of days. It's Easter Friday. I hope you've all got lovely plans. Like, what can we plan? Are we allowed to plan much yet? Well, we're allowed to meet in gardens. Those of us in the UK, right, we're allowed to meet with one other family in a garden. That's exciting. So I've got that to look forward to this weekend. I hope you're planning something lovely. And most of all, I hope that something I've said here today has been a really powerful invitation to you to put yourself first and start the journey that you know you're being called to. And if you're already on the journey and you're still noticing sometimes the guilt cropping up, I hope some of these words have supported you in staying on track, because the world needs more healed women and men. All right. Love you lots. See you next time. Bye, darlings.